Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can, give me a thumbs up or a like. Good to have sound, be a good start to these. Thank you also for bearing with me for my first Facebook live video with somebody who's got quite strong social anxiety themselves. Quite a weird thing for me to be doing, so do bear with it. Hoping today to give you a sort of introduction to the big topic of mindfulness, a sort of snapshot of that, and also to do a couple of short meditations as well, exercises which will help people at a time when we're all struggling a little bit. So for those who don't know me, I'm Tom. I'm a mindfulness teacher, have been for quite a while now. I also run my own wellbeing business in Winchester in Hampshire. And I set this group up. Initially, it was for teachers, because I was one for a long time, and the NHS staff, while they're doing an amazing job. It's expanded since then, so thank you to all those who have joined as well. It's really nice to have you all in here. So the first thing about mindfulness is that human beings are renowned for living most of their lives either in the past or in the future. So we're either spending our time thinking about what's just happened or in the past, or have I done the right thing, said the right thing, why has it gone like that, and worrying about that. Or we are sort of fortune telling and predicting about the future and thinking, what's going to happen next. That's in normal and good times. With what's going on now, that has been expanded massively. Excuse me. So we're thinking about, well, actually, last week things were different, or even yesterday things were different, and adjusting and getting used to the massive changes that are going on. And in some ways we are, hello Jude, thank you very much. We're really kind of almost in mourning and grieving for big changes. In some respects, because our daily life has shifted. In other ways, it's because we are away from loved ones and people we would normally be able to spend time with. We're also thinking about the future massively as well and trying to predict what's going to happen. We have got fears and worries about that as well. So more than even normal times, we are spending our lives in the past and the present, past and the future, rather than the here and now. And the here and now is really, really important to our mental health and to our well-being. Nice to have you here, Debbie, as well. Thank you for joining us. So hopefully what this can do is give us all a chance to take a pause because there's sort of lots of differences going on right now. Some people are stuck in a small house or flat somewhere, and I know are extremely bored at the moment. Lots of texts from friends saying how they're trying to find new things to do. Other people are working extremely hard. I know people who are in education, NHS, and police forces, etc., are extremely pushed at the moment. So whichever one of you that is, we have some things in common, and those are massively increased anxiety right now, a lack of control about what's going to be going on, lack of security, all those things which human beings really need. And one of the things that we can do to address that and help ourselves to feel better is to ground ourselves in the current situation about where we are right now. One of these things is, there's many versions of this. The one I use is called 5 Things. And the way to do that is to start off by, without telling anyone, you can do it internally, but comment if you would like to. Think about 5 things you can see in the immediate environment around you right now. Just 5 things. And don't take too long. Give some time to do that. It's 5 things you can see. And comment if you want about what you can spot around you. I'm sure my environment's different from yours. I can see my dog who's being a pain at the moment. If he barks, I apologise. Now, it's quite an easy thing to do. 5 things that you can see. You can often be worrying while doing that. So the next part is 5 things that you can hear. You might want to close your eyes to do this. So 5 things that you can hear. And that one's often slightly harder to do. We have to focus a little bit more. And the more we focus on those things, less we can focus on the worries and anxieties we've got going on in our heads at the same time. The last one is 5 things you can feel. That doesn't mean going around touching and stroking things, especially not at the moment, but 5 things you can physically feel, sensations. So it could be something like you're feeling quite warm or quite cold or chilly in your house. It Could be about how comfortable or uncomfortable your seat is at the moment. If you've got any kind of like stiffness in your back, things like that. If you're feeling quite comfortable. So 5 things that you can feel at the moment. That one often takes a little bit more. So when you're doing this, and I get people to do this probably 2 or 3 times a day, just to stop and to ground a little bit. Do them back to back. Hello, Jackie. So 5 things that you can see, then straight away 5 things that you can hear, then 5 things that you can feel as well. And it really does bring people down into being sort of heightened with anxiety, into, okay, I'm here, this is where I am right now, and I'm in this space at the moment. What I sometimes ask people to do is actually add in an extra 5 things on there. And that's 5 things that you're grateful for. And I know finding positives sometimes can be difficult, especially at the moment. But our brains are so wired to pick up negatives. It's a survival thing that we have. It's not a bad thing. It keeps us safe, keeps us alive. But it can go too far. And our brains are so good at picking negative things up. So by training ourselves to recognise positive things and things that we are grateful for, it has a really big impact on us. So thinking about 5 things that you're grateful for, and that can be big or small. It could be having a roof over your head right now. It could be having, family and friends who are, whether they're with you physically or remotely, are looking out for you and looking after you. It could be things like it's not raining today, thankfully, and it's a bit sunny. Whatever it is, big or small, someone smiled at me today or whatever. Just 5 things that you are grateful for as well. So that's the 5 things thing. Very, very simple, very sort of beginner's technique. But all mindfulness is, it's described as something which is simple but not easy. It's all about attention and awareness training. And our awareness is very limited sometimes. We're not aware of a lot of things that we are doing or thinking. And our attention is directed for us a lot of the time. So we end up, if an alarm goes off or a dog barks or whatever, we immediately go, oh, what's that? And we look and pay attention to that, and that's fine. But sometimes we need to be training that attention so that we can focus on the things that we want to, and which are good for us. And one of the things that we can do with that, which works really well, is using our breathing. And a lot of mindfulness is about sort of breathing techniques and using our breath. So one breathing technique, which I like to show you people, is called square breathing. And the way that we do that is that we can trace a square in the air. And as we make the line upwards, we breathe in. As we go across, we hold our breath. As we go down, we breathe out. And across, we hold. It's about 4 seconds each time. But experiment what works for you. So in. Hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. And do that as many times as you need to. And the way that it works, the reason it works is because when we have any form of anxiety at all, and that can be about a real danger or an imagined danger or anything at all, and the situation that's going on around us right now, we activate our fight or flight response, which you may have heard of. It's also fight, flight, freeze, and faint. And part of that is that our system starts gearing up and getting ready for action, and our breathing can increase in order to take that action. So by purposefully slowing down the breath, it sends a message to our system that we're okay, that we are safe, and we can actually relax a little bit from there. So again, a very simple breathing technique, but I've used it recently with a lot of people, a lot of students who are panicking about, not getting exam results or being able to go into college and things like that. Adults who've got job anxieties and things, it can work extremely well. And the last thing I want to do today is a sort of short mindfulness activity, and it's called the 3-minute breathing space. Anyone who joined when I did the Zoom session on Friday, I've lost track of days now, will have done this there. And it's, again, all about training our attention and our awareness. It's a bit like having an attention muscle. The more that we practice focusing on a certain thing, the better we get at being able to do this. There's 3 parts to this. The first part is expanding attention out. The next part is bringing attention to a very narrow focus inwards. And the last part is expanding outwards again. So sort of an hourglass shape. I prefer the idea of a tree. So you have branches that are spread quite wide to begin with, narrowing down into the trunk of the tree, and then spreading outwards into the roots. So I'd like to invite you to get comfortable. If you are sitting down doing this, the best sort of posture is sort of feet flat on the floor, nothing crossed, so arms sort of on your lap if that's comfortable for you, but also having a very upright posture. We are not trying to relax and switch off. This is about giving your body the message that you're intending to focus on something at the moment. So a nice upright posture. Allow yourself to just close your eyes if you're happy to do that. And just allowing yourself at this moment, in a point where there's so much going on, both internally and externally, to take a gentle pause on life right now and just become aware again of anything that you can hear around you, any smells perhaps you can pick up on. Becoming aware of any thoughts that you have going on in your mind right now. And perhaps any feelings you have as well. And tuning into how your body feels. Just noticing what you're feeling at the moment, both physically and emotionally. Noticing your posture, how comfortable or uncomfortable you are, and if so, where that is, and moving if you need to as well. And thinking about and being curious about what thoughts you have. Being curious is a really important part of mindfulness, just noticing what's going on, what thoughts are going through your mind. And try, if you can, to place a little bit of distance, to take a step back from those thoughts, to be aware of them, but to be detached from them rather than being caught up in them. I'd like you now to narrow your attention down inside yourself and to focus it onto your breathing. Just noticing now that gentle rise and fall of your stomach or your chest. Noticing where that movement is happening. And not trying to change your breathing or breathe in a certain way. Just simply being aware of it in a friendly and an open way. And it'll be very natural for your attention to wander away. I'd be surprised if it didn't, and that's absolutely fine and perfectly normal. But each time you notice attention wandering away, just smile because you've noticed that, and gently bring it back onto your breathing again. And each time it wanders off, just notice, and back onto the breathing. Just like a few breaths doing that. And now allow your awareness to expand outwards again, away from your breathing into your entire body. And if you can, imagine that you're breathing into your entire body. And becoming aware of your posture again, your facial expression, sensations on the surface of your skin or inside your body. And being fully aware of where you are physically right now. Enjoying the space around you, enjoying being here right now, wherever you are. And appreciating the sort of present moment right now. And see if you can bring a sense of wholeness and completeness about being you right now. Fully accepting and not aiming to be anywhere, do anything or please anyone. Just being who you are right here and right now. And being kind to yourself just for a moment. And enjoying a moment of peace and stillness. When you're ready, just open your eyes again. Now, I made it a little bit longer than the 3 minutes, but it's something which is, it's really worth doing. It's a very sort of beginner's part of mindfulness, and it's surprising how often our attention does wander. So we'll do this, and within a few moments we're thinking about dinner, or we're worrying about something, or a sound happens, or whatever, which brings attention away. And some people can get really annoyed by that and try to go, I must be able to focus on things. I should be able to be better than this. But your attention's a bit like a puppy. If you put a puppy down, it's unlikely to stay there for very long. It'll wander off to the most interesting smell or sound or whatever. If you shout at that puppy, it's unlikely to come back. It's going to be encouraging it back. It's like your attention's very, very similar. It'll wander off and get distracted onto all sorts of different things. Whenever you notice that, just gently bring it back to where it should have been before. And the more you do that, it's like training this attention muscle. Every single time you notice and bring it back, it trains that. Attention spans are decreasing massively at the moment. I'm working with students who are finding it hard to read a chapter of a book because they are thinking about what else they could be doing. But attention is such an important part of it. And what you'll find is the more that you practice mindfulness, the more you are able to keep your attention where you would like it to be and where it's beneficial to be. And you'll notice when you're starting to focus on worries and anxieties which aren't helping you and bringing it back into something else that is. So I hope that's helpful. It's a very, very small introduction to a massive topic. I'll be doing quite a few other ones as well. So, please join me for the next one. I'll put some dates up on the group as soon as I can do. But also, just a word of sort of caution, really. Please don't use these videos as a alternative for GP advice or medical information at all. If you are really concerned about mental health or your own well-being, do speak to your GP. But hopefully what these will do is help people who are just living with heightened anxiety at the moment with the situation to learn some basic skills that will help them to feel better. And I look forward to doing some more with you soon. So hopefully that was okay for the first one. And I'll work out how to finish this video off. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.